Now, it's Grizzlies post-game live on Memphis' sports station, 92.9 FM ESPN.
All right, what is up, everybody? Formerly known as Grizzlies post-game live, this is now the double post here. Grind City Media on X, Grind City Media on YouTube, simulcast on 92.9 ESPN. Thank you, everybody out there, for listening. Grizzlies win today. Game 82 of 82, 132-97 over the Dallas Mavericks, 132-97 over the Dallas Mavericks. Bennett Doyle is here, as he always is. Hey. We're just in a studio now. We're just in a studio. And then also, Jessica Benson. Hello, Jessica.
She's back.
It's so...
She ran from section 104.
I didn't realize you still needed a minute to catch your breath here.
We're good. I realized I underestimated the number of stairs that require me to traverse from where we do the radio back up here to the Grind City Media Studios.
No, it depends which way you go. Did you go through the suite level and then up and then through the main entrance we go through, and then you did not come? Did you go stairs or elevator?
Stairs. Like a real boss.
I'm proud of both of y'all.
Inspired by the Grizzlies' inspiring performance to close out the regular season.
I am so proud of both of y'all.
Thank you.
This used to be Grizzlies Post-Game Live. We're now calling it the Double Post. Jessica, you are joining us too. But we are still going to incorporate everything, just a little bit of a video element, but we're still incorporating phone calls. It is 901-445-0929, 901-445-0929. If you want to call and talk about today's game, or let's be honest, we got the word that the Grizzlies are not playing anybody today, and we're like, okay, what are we really going to talk about when it comes to this basketball game? So if you want to talk about anything else involving this team, we are still awaiting. We do not know who we are going to play. The Los Angeles Clippers or the Golden State Warriors on Tuesday night. Right now, the Clippers lead the Warriors 121-117 with 1:14 left in overtime, so that remains to be seen. But Jessica Benson, tell me what happened in that arena today.
Listen, I don't think it's unfair to say when you see the injury report going into today's game, there's a level of, like, oh, man, like, here, it's the end of the regular season. It's Fan Appreciation Day. I heard a lot of, like, groans and mumblings. And yet, the 8 players who were available, you couldn't have asked for anything more to close out the regular season. Like, what a vibes shooting high way to close it out. And it's a testament to 4 players with 20 or more points, a slew of career highs, including Lamar Stevens, who led all scorers with 31 points tonight. You get a double-double from Marvin Bagley, 25 and 11, a career high from Cam Spencer, 23, a career high from Jay Huff, 22 off the bench, a career high from Yuki Kawamura, 12 points. And those passes from Yuki Kawamura in the first half, like, I think that's when people realized, oh, I'm allowed to have a lot of fun watching this team play. Does it mean anything in the grand scheme of things? I don't know, maybe a couple of these guys, if their number does get called in the middle of a weird postseason wrinkle, there's a confidence boost that comes from playing today. There was one Vince Williams rebound in the fourth quarter where I was like, that's what you want from Vince Williams. But ultimately, it was just a fun afternoon of basketball. We haven't had a ton of weekend afternoon games with this team.
Okay, Bennett Doyle, you over there.
Yes, I can breathe now.
Yeah,
Here
you
I
can
am.
breathe.
Yep.
You've caught your breath. Also, good to see. This was definitely one of the highlights. Full transparency here. We had talked earlier and we said, okay, so we are not going to run highlights from this game at all. And then we got pretty much right off the bat, we got highlights that were absolutely worth running. Look at that.
Yuki said, how dare you?
Yuki said, how dare you? And I should have known, watching Yuki all the time with the Memphis Hustle. I've seen these Yuki highlights over and over again. I know exactly what Yuki can do and how entertaining he is on the basketball court. Shout out to the Dallas Mavericks. They were on their Oprah Winfrey today. They just said to the Grizzlies, you get a career high, you get a career high, you get a career high. They're just letting Grizzlies get career highs left and right. Bennett Doyle, your thoughts on this one?
I agree with JB. It was a great time. Like, what more can you ask for him? Fan Appreciation Day than a game full of great highlights. Yuki Kawamura behind the back passes. Jay Huff, how many blocks did Jay Huff have? Like 7?
Career high.
6, right?
6.
Yeah, 6.
Career high 6 blocks for Jay Huff, too.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun in the building today. I'm glad the fans got to enjoy that game. And now we look ahead. Like, we're it looks like the Clippers are starting to get a little control of this thing with under a minute left in overtime, 121-117. So we'll keep an eye on that as we're about to find out who we're going to face on Tuesday night.
I think best case scenario, too, is playing the Warriors rather than the Clippers. Look, neither one of them are good options. They're both awesome teams who won season series against you, but I think of the two, I think the Warriors are obviously the better one. 901-445-0929 if you want to call in. 901-445-0929. 901-445-0929. Let's try the phone call thing from the studio. I don't know if we have taken a phone call from this studio since maybe like the day this studio was built, which was years ago. Ray, you are up.
Tough start for the first phone call.
Tough start. You know, hey, look, we're all new to this. Let's rock out. 901-445-0929. We maybe try. We'll make some adjustments here.
You can also join the YouTube chat if you want to ask a question via the chat. Don't want to call in. Makes it easier for people. Oh, we can always count on a Miss Betty call, though.
If we could actually hear a Miss Betty call.
Oh, fingers crossed.
Yes! I hear! Yes! Touchdown! Yes!
Touchdown.
Someone call in makes it easier for people. We can always count on a Miss Betty call out. We can actually hear a Miss Betty call. Fingers crossed.
We got Miss Betty on? I don't think so.
Hello?
Yeah, Miss
there you are, Miss Betty.
I got you. You have to keep your radio down, Miss Betty.
I have to turn it down, okay?
Yeah.
Can
What you got, Miss
you hear
Betty?
me?
It's always good. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. This was a fun game. Believe it or not, I'm at another event, but I watched it to about the third quarter. I loved what I saw today. I really, really did. And I want to say this is our last season game. I hope the fans enjoyed this and we come back strong. I know we gotta play our play-in game, but for the next season, come back strong, fans. Come back strong. They need you. And regardless of what happened in the postseason, this is our team in our city. And so we got to stay with them. I just want to say this. You all are incredible in terms of all the broadcasting. Jessica, I love you so much. Thank you for having her for the last show. And I just love everybody. Bennett, I love you guys. So thank you so much. Look to hear from me if, next game. We'll see how it goes. But look to hear from me if God's willing for the next season. I could not let this go by without calling in and saying, great job, team, great job, announcers, great job after post-game show. Thank you so much for listening to me do what I do.
Thank
Have
you,
a great
Miss
one,
Betty.
guys.
Thank you. 901-445-0929. I mean, it makes sense that the first call didn't go well because it had to be
Miss Betty.
It has to be Miss Betty.
Like, no disrespect to you and Bennett. I am thrilled. I've been off the post-game show duties because of my sleep schedule, and you guys might think that I came back because I want to do this show with you guys and talk about Grizzlies wins, losses, and everything. No, I just want to take calls from Miss Betty.
You just want to hear from Miss Betty.
The only reason that I'm back.
She imparts a lot of wisdom. There are many times where Bennett and I have gotten a little too emotional and maybe gone overboard after some Grizzlies losses, and Miss Betty's always there to kind of reel us back in and let us know, hey, it'll pass. It'll pass. 901-445-0929. All right, one of our GCM brethren, Lang Whitaker. Hello, Lang.
What's up, y'all? How you doing?
Good, man. What's up?
First time, long time. Just a couple things, couple observations I had today. Number one, my favorite moment of the game might have been Daniel Gafford had a dunk in the first half, and the whole Mavericks bench jumped up to celebrate, and it was like two guys. Like there was nobody on that bench over there to celebrate. Right before halftime, I saw Tuomas Isalo get up, screaming on the court, yelling at guys. And I looked over at the Mavericks bench. Jason Kidd was just sitting calmly among the coaching staff on that end. A lot of guys, normally you get happy when guys make the extra pass. Not a lot of the extra pass in the fourth quarter tonight. There was just a lot of guys just getting that shot up because that was what this game was, really. A lot of guys getting their shots up. My other big takeaway was that, Roser, you do all the hustle games, so you see the G League. it made me think between the G League and the NBA, we need a K League because K is halfway between G and N. There was a lot of guys today who were like halfway between the G League and the NBA. You know, in baseball, they call them 4A players. They can't quite make the majors. They're a little too good for AAA. That kind of felt like what both teams had out there tonight. A lot of guys who were kind of in-betweeners. Last thing, and I'm going to ask you guys this. I'll hang up and listen. Which player on the Grizzlies do you think made the best case for minutes going forward and in the postseason? Appreciate you guys. I'm going to hang up. Thank you.
All right, thanks, Leg.
I want to answer first.
Okay, K-League is a level of corn that I don't even think I could come up with. So shout out to you for that. By the way, there's a development. The Clippers are up 121-119.
I do have it on 7.7 seconds. Clippers ball.
And Jimmy Butler's injured.
Yeah, he's hobbled.
Jimmy Butler is injured.
Draymond missed a shot at the rim. He was looking for a Zubats foul. Didn't get it called.
Yeah.
So, Jimmy can't walk.
No, he can't walk. And that game's on Tuesday. If the Clippers hold on, that game's on Tuesday, and that changes a lot of things for the Grizzlies. Bennett, go ahead.
I'm going to say that the player that played today that has earned minutes in whichever day we play this or this week's festivities is Vince Williams Jr. because I know he's going to get minutes.
Because we don't have a small forward, because we don't have wings. 901-445-0929.
I'll hot take it. Give me Lamar Stevens. He just plays with a level of toughness. You don't need Lamar Stevens for his scoring. That was a bonus that transpired today, and to see him get a career high, it's always fun to watch. But he just gives you a level of physicality that we're constantly searching, right, for physical, longer guys to help, especially with some of the defensive holes that the Grizzlies have shown over the course of the last couple of months. And I'm not saying Lamar Stevens fixes everything, but occasionally there'll be a play out there, and I know it was against the K-League or the clearly G-League players of the Dallas Mavericks today, so it's different. Like if this is going up against the Los Angeles Clippers on Tuesday, I might feel differently. But I continue to just be inspired by the play of Lamar. We saw it last year. We've seen it in spurts this year.
I'm with you on Lamar Stevens. I think there could be real potential for him to get real minutes, just because, I mean, like, he is a veteran who is not going to mess up. Now, also, you expect everybody to be back, and we have seen pretty much in the last, we saw it in the Timberwolves game, he pretty much played 7 guys because Kennard didn't play. And then in the Denver game, Coach T.I. pretty much played 8 guys because Kennard did play. So we're really saying if there is going to be a 9th guy, I'm kind of with you on Lamar Stevens, 31.6 boards, 14 to 25 today. But he is a guy that you've seen, whether it was Taylor Jenkins before him last year and even part of this season. And Coach, there is like a trust in that, hey, this guy's not going to mess things up. And where there is on this team, there have been at times certain guys you play where there's a little bit of the unknown. You don't have that as much with somebody like Lamar Stevens. 901-445-0929. And Bennett, we're going to get to a call. We got a caller, and we'll get to the caller in just a second. But, Bennett, I have to call you out because you said Vince Williams. And I have a text message from you and me. You sent to me and Jessica Benson. It's the last text you sent at 4:10 p.m., and it says, I'll be pushing the Marvin Bagley revival narrative. And that was your chance right there, and you failed to do so.
He did play really great today. I mean, I do think, he's a guy that I think there's a decent chance he might be on this roster next season. Like he's definitely intriguing, man. I mean, I know like the level of competition today that you're playing against, but like there was moments when he looked dominant on the glass in that game.
Yeah.
I mean, I do think there's something there. He's a guy that obviously we know had such a huge pedigree coming out of college, hasn't gone his way. He's actually averaged double figures throughout his career up until this season, right?
Yeah.
So there's clearly something there. We'll see what it means going into next season.
It feels like every team he's had has tried to tap into every team, whether it's been the Kings where he drafted or the Pistons or the Wizards, and now us. It's like every team sees like, okay, there's something there. We just got to see if we can tap into it. And it's like maybe you tapped into it for a little bit, and then it just kind of reverts back to what it was before. And I don't know, maybe the 4th time is the charm.
It's one of those things where, I mean, the NBA is littered with stories like that. Marvin Bagley gets more attention because he was the number 2 pick, and so it adds expectations. But even I was reading one of the breakdowns of what transpired in Denver with the decision to move past Michael Malone and Calvin Booth. And suddenly in the middle of the piece, whose name pops up? Jay Huff. Like, there were disagreements between Michael Malone and Calvin Booth wanted Jay Huff to potentially be a backup for Nikola Jokic. And obviously the difference between veteran players and younger players was a critical disconnect between those two people. But then you've seen how Jay Huff has been able to have the best season of his NBA career, and he had 20 points, I think, in a pair of games earlier this season, but then gets a career high tonight. It just depends on situations sometimes. So we'll see what it's like for Marvin Bagley. Perhaps this is the beginning of a new trend for Marvin Bagley.
I'm not holding my breath, though.
Okay.
But, yeah, look, we're being positive here. It's after a dub. And we
I
know
love a dub.
And we know how the J Huff thing went.
I said I was only going to spend this 30 minutes talking about how awesome Yuki Kawamura is, and how he brings me nothing but joy.
901-445-0929. The Grizzlies will play the Golden State Warriors on Tuesday in San Francisco. The Clippers beat the Warriors 124-119 in overtime. The Clippers will now play in the first round against the Denver Nuggets, with the Nuggets having home court advantage. That will put the Timberwolves at the 6th seed playing the Lakers, and then the 7th seed will be the winner of the Grizzlies-Warriors game on Tuesday. 901-445-0929. Rodney, you're up.
Hey. Oh, hey, guys.
What's
first
up,
of all,
man?
I feel Jessica's pain. Those steps are steep, and there's a lot of them. So I've been winded multiple times coming from the bottom to the top of FedEx. But did you ever look and see if an NBA team has gone an entire half without fouling?
I didn't, but I would bet you it happened last year. Do you remember the second half of last season when the referees quit calling fouls?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
We appreciated it because we were not good last year.
Go.
We get these games over with. It was almost like a running clock.
That's how today felt too, though, even early in this game.
Yeah, it's like the refs are like, yeah, okay, we're trying to get out of here too. Zach Zarba's like, no. No.
You want to call? That's too bad.
Zach Zarba's like, no, I'm going to be officiating the NBA Finals, not this. Let me get out of here. Hour and 59 minutes tonight. But it probably happened last year, Rodney. It probably did.
Yeah, I wasn't leaving that arena until Dallas fouled, and I was hoping they could make it a whole half, but Dwight Powell had to go and ruin it there with 2 minutes left by committing a foul. That tells you a lot about your effort when you can play almost an entire half without even you don't even bother to even foul. So that was a pretty bad effort over. You could tell they just kind of bailed this one in, but it was fun. I mean, it was fun to watch. It was fun to see those plays Yuki's made. I'm sure will be top 10. The over the head has to be top 10 on SportsCenter tonight.
Yeah, no, they'll be shared. Yeah, no, and if they're not top 10 on SportsCenter, they'll be top 10 on social media, because any Yuki highlight that hits social media,
shout out Japan.
Yeah, shout out Japan. Let me tell you, like that will absolutely
triple platinum.
It will blow up.
It did make me excited there were a handful of fans before the game who had signs that said we traveled from Japan for this. And imagine traveling all the way. And it's not guaranteed. You have no idea who's going to be playing, where the Grizzlies are at this time of year. To make the travel plans from Japan to be here and to get to see that from Yuki, that's fan appreciation.
No, he really is. He's like he's an Olympic hero there.
Yes.
Because like we've had Yuta Watanabe here, and then you'd get every now and then you'd have some Japanese fans that would show up to a Hustle game or show up to a Grizzlies game for Yuta, but
this took it to a different level this
season.
Took
it to a completely different level. Rodney, appreciate the call. Good luck to your Boston Celtics in the
all right,
in the
thank
playoffs.
you guys. Hopefully Memphis will make a good run here, and we'll have several more call-in shows. Appreciate all you guys do.
Hey, we'll be back on Tuesday. It'll be like 1 a.m, but we'll be back on Tuesday. Yeah. Well, I mean, it's West Coast. Thanks, Rodney. Appreciate it. 901-445-0929. 901-445-0929. Yeah, the Grizzlies will play the Golden State Warriors on Tuesday. The Grizzlies won, or the Warriors won the season series 3-2-1. The only one the Grizzlies won was by 50 points here at FedEx Forum. That's the only one that the Grizzlies won.
I mean, the biggest storyline is that the Grizzlies have not won a game in the state of California. Whether they were playing the Clippers or the Warriors, they're 0-7 when traveling to California. So
yeah, so they haven't. And let's say, you know what, we're going to take a break. We'll come back and we'll talk about Tuesday's game against the Golden State Warriors. This is the Double Post, formerly known as Grizzlies Postgame Live. John Roser, Jessica Benson, Bennett Doyle. We'll be back on YouTube, on Twitter, and the Grizzlies Radio Network.
Flu season is here. Protect yourself and your loved ones with a seasonal flu or senior flu shot at the Shot Nurse. With 3 locations, it's fast, convenient, and easy. Plus, it's free with most insurance. Or for groups of 10 or more, the nurse can come to you. Call 901-685-9999 or go to shotnurse.com to book your group appointment. The Shot Nurse is your wise choice.
At Kroger, an annual Boost membership is better than ever. Save up to $1,100 each year on gas, groceries, delivery fees, and streaming options. With double fuel points, unlimited free delivery, and exclusive savings for members, there's so much to love about Boost. Sign up for a Boost membership today. Kroger, fresh for everyone. Restrictions apply. See site for details.
May we have your attention, please? We've got some big news regarding one of your favorite draw-style lottery games. In fact, it's not just big news. It's mega, because Mega Millions is bigger and better than ever, thanks to new and exciting features like larger starting jackpots, built-in multipliers, bigger second prizes, and better odds to win. And yes, it'll cost a little more to play, but you'll have the chance at some mega-sized wins. The new Mega Millions from the Tennessee Lottery. Game-changing fun. Please play responsibly.
Thinking about when you'll hang your jersey in the rafters? Robinhood Gold members enjoy Hall of Fame treatment with a 3% IRA match on retirement contributions. Accelerate towards retirement with Robinhood, the official investing and jersey patch partner of the Memphis Grizzlies. Investing involves risk. 3% match requires a gold subscription for 1 year from first match. Must keep IRA for 5 years. Robinhood Financial LLC, member SIPC. For more information, go to robinhood.com/retirement. Gold membership is offered by Robinhood Gold LLC.
If you're looking for a getaway that has it all, and all just a quick flight or a short drive from North Texas, you need to plan a visit to Little Rock, Arkansas. This historic capital city is big in all the right ways, with a vibrant, walkable downtown that you're going to love to explore, a booming dining scene, endless arts and culture, exciting events, and more, all surrounded by endless places to get outside, hike, bike, paddle, and play. One visit and you'll leave big on Little Rock. Plan your getaway at littlerock.com today.
Welcome to the SoFi NBA Play-In Tournament, a chance to punch your ticket to the playoffs and earn a spot on the main stage.
Their title hopes are still alive.
But to prove you've got what it takes, you've got to take somebody's place. Every game, every play, and every moment matters. All you got to do is win to get in. Don't miss the SoFi NBA Play-In Tournament April 15th through 18th on ESPN and TNT.
Welcome to the Rendezvous.
This is John Burgess. When my dad started the Rendezvous in 1948, I don't think anyone could have imagined we'd still be serving shoulder, cheese plates, and our world-famous dry rub ribs 75 years later. But we are still here in the basement, in an alley in downtown Memphis. We sincerely thank you for making the Rendezvous what it is today. Charlie Burgess Rendezvous. A legendary experience for over 75 years, whether you dine in, pick up, or ship across the country.
Big River Steel is on the edge of something big. That's why we're recruiting the best talent to help us develop the sustainable steel needed today and tomorrow. Ready to be a part of it? Visit www.bigriversteel.com/join-r-team. That's www.bigriversteel.com/join-r-team.
All right, what's up, everybody? Double Post back here from the Grind City Media Studios. John Roser, Jessica Benson, Bennett, Doyle with you. Grizzlies won today, 132-97, 901-445-0929, 901-445-0929. You can call in. You can join the chat live on YouTube, Grind City Media on YouTube. Also, if you don't have YouTube, I don't know why you wouldn't, but if you don't, also you can watch the show Grind City Media on X. But join the show chat. There's people chatting. I creeped in there. I didn't say anything, but I was creeping. I saw y'all.
We chatting?
Yeah,
Chat?
they're chatting. 901-445-0929 if you want to call in. 901-445-0929. Eric, you're up.
Shout out to Jay Huff with 6 blocks. Shout out to Ken Spencer with 6 or 7 assists. Shout out to John Conchar. I forgot how many steals he had today. Shout out to Lamar with a career high in points. Shout out to Yuki with some of the most amazing assists I've ever seen, as well as his 12 points. Shout out to Vince Williams, who was dominant on both ends of the floor. only one I got concerns about was Gigi, but I'm sure he'll come back. But shout out to everybody for that effort today, because our scrubs beat their veterans. And I'm sorry, that to me, that says a lot more about our team than theirs. That's all I got.
All right.
Appreciate it,
Thanks,
man.
Eric. Shout out.
It was 6 steals for John Conchar.
Yeah, 6 steals for Conchar. It was 7 assists for Cam Spencer. The Memphis Grizzlies will take on the Golden State Warriors in San Francisco, California at the Chase Center on Tuesday night. Yeah, there's our graphic. TNT. There will be no local broadcast, but we will have a warm-up show. Lang Whitaker, Mike Wallace will have the warm-up show. We will have this post-game show that will be at like 1 in the morning, but we want you all to join us because you'll all be up and you'll either be mad, but either way, we will then have another game. We will have another game after that. We'll either have the 7 seed and be playing the Rockets, or we'll have a game for the 8 seed here at FedEx Forum later in the week. But the Grizzlies will take on the Golden State Warriors. Jimmy Butler was limping. That's, I think, that has to be, without a doubt, the biggest storyline.
100%. And without having watched, full transparency, we were watching in spurts as we tried to start this, either something with his thigh, needed the calf, whatever it was, he's limping in the final minutes of the game. He did stay in, but that changes everything. Like, even in looking at who do you want to face between the Clippers and the Warriors, and in a world of no real great options, considering you've had difficulties against both those teams this season, but more against the Clippers. But all of a sudden, I'm watching Jimmy Butler in the beginning of that game tonight, and playoff Jimmy's activated. That is a very real thing. And this was one of Jimmy Butler's best games as a Warrior. And so you're reminded of just how deadly that team can be. If you have Steph Curry, Jimmy Butler, and Draymond Green operating at that level, it could have been dicey, or it could be dicey for the Grizzlies. We don't know what the status of Jimmy will be. But removing that from the equation, this team was a different team without Jimmy Butler before they traded for him at the trade deadline. An entirely different group. Trust me, I watch almost every game because my husband is a psycho Golden State Warriors fan, and now we're back at it again in our household. So should be a fun time, but it would make a massive difference.
No, I'm with you, Bennett. Your thoughts when you find out it's the Golden State Warriors?
I mean, obviously, it's more exciting just from a Grizzlies fan base perspective, right? Like, you would rather just play the Warriors because there's so much. I know we have history back in the day with the Clippers, but not with this version of the Clippers. Like, we got history with this Warriors team. Steph comes in here and has that historical game the other night, and you had a chance there, like it was a tight game for a while, and so you got a chance to really exercise some demons in this game. The good news is the Grizzlies are 1-0 against the Golden State Warriors in the play-in tournament.
Hey. And it was
Positive
in
pulse.
that arena,
right there.
and it was in that arena. It was in the Chase Center. It was nobody in the crowd because of COVID, and we were doing that thing. And Xavier Tillman, now with the Boston Celtics, corner three, one of the biggest shots in Grizzlies history. Xavier Tillman had that one. I think the Golden State Warriors, Jessica, all three of us, we talked off the air leading into this week, and we all have thought, and you've been on for a while, that the Warriors are the most fun matchup, for sure. And I mean, look, if the other option is the Clippers, I'd much rather play the Warriors. I don't want to play the Clippers. Look, you
agreed.
Call me a hater, call me negative. There's nothing that makes me believe like that. To me, that's grown men against children. The Clippers against us. That's a problem. That's a real problem. It is. We've seen that. We've seen it. Dude, Kawhi Leonard just took the ball out of Desmond Bane's hands like 3 times.
And I just saw some clips from Kawhi Leonard with both Jimmy Butler and Draymond Green attacking him, and he slices right through him.
This Clippers team has had, I think it's been over the last month, they've had a top 3 defense and the number 1 offense in the NBA, and they have beat the crap out of us when we've played them this year, especially on the West Coast, because as you said, we have not won a game in California. This Golden State Warriors team, without Jimmy Butler or with a hobbled Jimmy Butler, look, we competed against them here just like 2 weeks ago.
With Steph going off 52 points.
52,
hey, step one. Don't give up 45 points in the first quarter.
Yeah.
Okay, great. You're off to a better start.
Don't give up 45 points in the first quarter. Don't give up 40-point quarters. Which
if Jimmy's out, then their third best player is Brandon Pajemski.
Exactly.
And it's not as if he has historic playoff success.
And he did not play well here at FedEx Forum, but obviously he can. I mean, he's a good player, but he is not Jimmy Butler. I think with Jimmy Butler, Like, I think Golden State's a title contender with a healthy Jimmy Butler. Like, that's how good I think they can be.
Yes.
I wouldn't put them as a favorite, but I think they could. If things broke right, they could.
So in a world where
if Jimmy Butler's hobbled, like,
yeah,
that's a beatable team.
I was going to say, in a world where I've been very high on the Oklahoma City Thunder all season. I have not been somebody who sits back and says, that team's so good, but there's just something. No, I think the Thunder are incredible. Yeah. However, let's say in a hypothetical universe, the Warriors lose to the Grizzlies, the Warriors go into that 8-9 game, or I'm sorry, the 9-10 game, the Warriors beat either the Kings or the Mavs, and they're playing the Thunder. That might be the nightmare scenario for the Oklahoma City Thunder in the first round. It is not an obvious pick the Thunder to advance in that case.
No, it's not.
But I'm saying that under the impression of it being Jimmy Butler and Steph Curry. What was their final record when Jimmy and Steph both played? It was something stupid, like 20-3?
20-3, yeah, right. And losing to the Clippers today, it's like, well, they just...
so add that into the mix.
But that Clippers team is awesome. Like, that Clippers team they are really good. Like, as long as Kawhi Leonard can stay healthy, we have seen the Clippers are awesome when Kawhi Leonard is healthy and is himself. Now, how long will that last? We don't know. But we know what they are when he is healthy, and it is an awesome team. So, yeah, Golden State, the record, I mean, last time I saw it was something like 19-2. Yeah. Now it's like 3. That's like their third or fourth loss with both of them because they lost to San Antonio also.
Right.
You know, when you look back at that Warriors game on April 1st, it's hard to, like, take anything from the games before that because it was before the Jimmy Butler trade. You know, I think one thing that you point to that's positive for the Grizzlies is they clearly have a size advantage. Like, Jaren had a nice game in that Warriors game.
Yeah.
Edie had 16 rebounds in that game. Like, they clearly have a size advantage. Again, it didn't matter, and we know Draymond plays bigger than his height, but it's definitely something you feel like you can exploit if you're the Grizzlies going into that game, is your size.
No, there is something that...
Santi had a good game.
Yeah, Santi, this is a team he can play well against.
He had 18
this is one of the better teams.
Rebounds.
It is more of a...
finesse.
There you go. Yeah.
That's the word you were looking for.
It's more of a finesse game when you play the Golden State Warriors. Now, one thing you mentioned about Jaren Jackson Jr. Jaren Jackson Jr. did have, in the first matchup of the season at Golden State, he did have 32 points in that game. Santi actually led the Grizzlies in scoring in the 50-point win, 21 points and 14 rebounds in that one. And then in the loss at Golden State, 121-113, Jaren had 23 in that one, had 23 and 9. And then the game that they played here, Ja had, the game that they just played here most recently, the 134-125 win, Ja Morant had 36 points. Zach Edey had 16 rebounds. Ja led the team with 6 assists. Now, I think for this one, and we've seen it a little bit, and this is where when you see what the Grizzlies are and you look at the roster and how it is and the injuries that they've had and the trades they've made, and one of the things that has to happen that we've talked about is there is more ownership has to be put on the shoulders of John Morant, Desmond Bane, and Jaren Jackson Jr. We've talked about it a lot, that those guys make the money, the ownership of the team, and the responsibility of the team. More weight is put on their shoulders to do more. We have seen them all three play great in a half, but we haven't gotten all three of them for a complete game. And I know, Bennett, you mentioned Jaren Jackson Jr. Jaren, to me, is probably the biggest key. That's been one of the sneaky things. We have seen John Morant bounce back big time here recently over the last 9, 10 games, 11 games, however many it's been. We have not gotten that same Jaren Jackson Jr., whether it's just a product he's been in foul trouble, he's gotten double-teamed more, and they need Jaren. They're going to need Jaren in a big way because Jaren is one of these guys. Draymond Green is going to try to bait him into a million fouls.
So is Jimmy. We saw it in the last game.
Saw it a million times. Jaren Jackson Jr., to me, the biggest X factor for the Grizzlies in this game. I don't think it is totally going to be about role players. I think your stars have to be stars. In that Minnesota game we saw Thursday night, all three of those guys were awesome in the first half, and then the second half it was just...
And you need three-point shooting. And Ja has been excellent from three. Kind of lost in everything has been the consistency of his three-point shot. I cannot wait for that moment and I'll call it now. And no, I'm not going to jinx it. I won't definitively say win. No, I'll say win. Sorry. when he makes his first three against the Warriors on the road, and it's on TNT, and it's in front of the national audience, that celebration has swept over the sports world.
It
We're
is
seeing it
everywhere.
in
Baseball, soccer,
football.
It's everywhere.
It's like
It's everywhere.
Children's tournaments, the AAU circuit. It's gone through the mix of it. I have not seen something go that quickly in a long time. So it's the cool thing to do right now. I saw somewhere that there's like a Spotify playlist that uses, it's like a locked in Spotify playlist, and it uses Ja Morant's picture right now. And it just, that's what he's been. He's been locked in, and the results have not portrayed just how good Ja has been, because it can't solely fall on his shoulders, but you're going to need big game Ja. But you're also going to need big game Jaren and big game Dez, because the 3-point shooting of the Warriors, Steph Curry is going to make a lot of threes.
Yep.
If Jimmy Butler is available, he's going to score a lot of points. And the extras that they've been able to get from someone like a Buddy Hield, like you just need somebody to, threes are more than two, it's a fact. And so Desmond Bane has to be that version of Dez, where he's hitting the big shots at a consistent rate. I'm excited.
No,
Me too.
I'm super excited.
I do think that they think that this can't be said about, frankly, a lot of the teams in the top 6 in the West this season, but I do think they can beat this team, this Warriors team.
They also get up for this team. That was something that stood out from that game, the Steph Curry 52-pointer, and yes, they lose that game. But from the jump, I remember effort-wise a conversation being had of if they can approach every team they play with the level of animosity that the Warriors seem to bring out of them, they'd be winning more games down the stretch than they were. Like, the intensity just levels up with this matchup. We know what it is. And so there's not going to be some level of, oh, we're just moseying in. No, they want to beat this team.
As long as Steph and Draymond are on that other side, and we've got Ja and Jaren and Dez and Steve Kerr, it doesn't matter that some of the other pieces aren't there. As long as those are there, there's still going to be some smoke between these teams. The Jaren Jackson Jr. thing, I think another one thing that we glossed over. I remember the last time that we played them here a couple weeks ago, and Draymond Green's post-game press conference.
Oh, yeah.
Talking about being disappointed in Jaren because
Michigan
of those
State
fouls.
brethren.
My Michigan State, my Spartan brethren. He knows better, which is what we all say when we see some of these fouls. And, the Minnesota game, he picked up 2 in the final 40 seconds of the first half, then picked up another one right at the beginning of the second half, and it's like he goes out of the game. Next thing you know, we're getting 52 points dropped on our head. But Draymond Green saying after that Warriors game, I'm disappointed in my Spartan brethren. He knows better than
From
this.
the big brother in me, it was a little disappointing.
Disappointing.
Jared, let me be clear. I appreciated that from Draymond.
I absolutely appreciated it too, because he's 100% right. Like, some of these fouls, we saw it in the Lakers game that they baited Jaren into fouls. Jaren's got to be better than that. They have to have him on the court, and they've got to have him on the court for 35-plus minutes on Tuesday night. 901-445-0929. Liz from Collierville.
Hey, how are you?
Doing well. How are you, Liz?
I'm doing great. I have a really crazy thing to throw into the mix. You're going to think I'm nuts, but here goes. I hope you know this. Desmond Bane's wife, Tatum, is due to have a baby any second. So that might throw something in the mix, too.
Well, I didn't know that.
You know what?
Well, congratulations to Dez and his wife.
Congratulations to the Bain family.
Yeah.
Who in next year's Memphis tourism commercial will have 2 children.
Yep, they're gonna have 2 gorgeous children. But seriously, I follow her on Instagram, and I mean, like, any second she's gonna have another beautiful baby with him. So, I don't know. Wasn't it Shane Battier way back in the day?
Yes, it was. It was Shane Battier. I remember that. Yeah.
Yeah. So let's hope something like that happens. But I mean, congratulations and best of luck to them, but that might be a factor. Just wanted to throw that in there.
There was somebody fairly recently.
I feel like there was, too.
I cannot remember who it was. But
there was Fred Van Vliet. Fred Van Vliet, yeah.
There's this phenomenon where if a baby is born into a family, then the player, the dad in this scenario, goes off for a big game, inspired by, obviously, the physical labor that they have to watch their wife go through in that situation. They're like, if she can do that, I can do this. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. That's absolutely
She's the real hero, not me.
She's the shero, Roser.
The shero. The shero.
I love this.
Oh,
Thank
you.
Bad. Thank you
my
for this
bad.
contribution. This is perfect.
Just wanted to put that in there. So let's hope Des goes for beast mode. Go
All
Grizz.
right.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you, Liz. We appreciate it. 901-445-0929 if you want to call in. Also, live on Grind City Media YouTube, live on Grind City Media X. Join the Grind City Media YouTube. Join us on YouTube.
Yeah, we have a couple questions
We got
from
to
there,
chat.
too.
We got questions.
Yeah,
I love. You know what? I got answers.
Ron asked, what impact does the play-in results and playoff results have on the Grizzlies' offseason?
Okay, so a lot. So if it doesn't really matter, like if they win on Tuesday, they have the 7 seed. They'll play the Houston Rockets. If they lose on Tuesday, they will play here at FedEx Forum the winner of the Kings Mavericks game.
And that's where you and I disagree vehemently.
Okay, and if they win that, they will be in the playoffs, and they'll be the 8 seed, and they'll play the Oklahoma City Thunder. If they lose Tuesday to the Warriors, and then they lose to the Kings or the Mavericks, then they are out of the playoffs, and this is how it affects their offseason. Because if they are out of the playoffs, if they miss the playoffs, they will have a lottery pick. Their pick that they sent to Washington in the Marcus Smart trade is lottery protected. So that means they would have a lottery pick to do whatever they want to do with it. If you want to trade it, if you want to use that lottery pick, it will be the bottom of the lottery. You're talking 13, 14s, which are probably 14. You're talking the last pick of the lottery. So that's what you will be talking about. So those are the implications. Who would you rather play? The Warriors? Would you rather play the Rockets, the Thunder, or miss it altogether and have a lottery pick?
I am team playoffs no matter what.
Agreed.
I'm so firmly in that camp, and I will stand there. My tent has been up, and I am not budging from it. And I understand the implications of. I hate to jump ahead and move past the Tuesday play-in, but for the sake of this argument, if they do find themselves in the 9-10 game with an opportunity to play the Thunder, you have to make the playoffs. You were the 2 seed in February, for goodness sake. And if you go from being the 2 seed to falling completely out of the playoffs, I think that is representative of a massive disappointment, a massive failure. And for Ja, Jaren, and Des, it'd be one thing, and I know this team has had injuries, and I'm not trying to discredit what it meant to lose Jalen Wells, what it meant to lose Brandon Clark, but you have your main 3, and they're healthy, and every chance you have to play in the playoffs is big for that unit. And I also will add in my little downtown
give me your
resident.
economics. Give me your economics.
Downtown Memphis needs a first-round playoff series for the Memphis Grizzlies. As a downtowner, I am so hopeful of people coming back downtown, having a good time. There was this great food truck festival down here on the river this week, and it was packed, and it was wonderful to see just the foot traffic.
Look at today's game.
It crushed so many fans at today's game. Some Like It Hot is over at the Orpheum right now, and I saw some people going there for the matinee today. But when you have that playoff, so many businesses downtown, and I know people are signing up for the basketball analysis, not the downtown business analysis, but so many downtown businesses legitimately look forward and rely on the people who come for the playoffs, and then those people have a good time downtown, and then they're like, oh, well, maybe I want to come to Smoke Slam next month, or oh, I want to come to River Beat next month and see Missy Elliott or the Killers. Like it's a trickle-down effect.
Yes.
And so I am stuck on the Grizzlies hosting a not hosting.
That's
but
fair.
Making a first round playoffs where you are guaranteed 2 home games.
You want it for the economics.
Yes.
For the economics
and
of downtown.
And the vibes, Roser.
Downtown does need better vibes. We do need some good vibes for downtown.
For me, I would say
besides our vibes. Our vibes, we're down here every day and we have good vibes.
You know who has bad vibes? Rory McIlroy, who's in a playoff with Justin Rose.
Okay, you were in the middle of talking and I have the Masters pulled up here, and Rory McIlroy had a par putt from about 7 to 8 feet that would have won the Masters, and he missed the par putt, and he's going to a playoff with Justin Rose busting hose.
So that's amazing.
It's a great,
what a time.
So there you go, Justin Rose. Shout out to Justin Rose.
No, I would say, obviously you would prefer to play the Rockets in a series. I think most people would say that than the Thunder, and the fact that we've never played them in the playoffs. That's kind of like that. That's something that they're one of the only Western Conference.
The Dylan Brooks too.
Yeah, you got the Dylan Brooks factor, Steve-O. Like I just think they don't have the playoff experience. I think most people would say they would prefer that matchup. But again, that's a team that you've just never seen in a playoff series in the West. I think that'd be kind of cool.
How amazing is it that if you are the Rockets, you either get the Grizzlies with the Dylan Brooks, Steven Adams,
or the Warriors,
or the Warriors with Dylan Brooks versus that entire team.
No, you look the Rockets. You could see I mean, look, we're keeping it real here. With the Rockets, you can see like there's a chance. Like there's something there. Like if this broke right, like if Dillon Brooks shoots 4 for 21 and Jalen Green shoots 4 for 25, like you can see, okay, that's how you win. Like there is a path. And Dillon Brooks 4 for 21. We've seen it before. We know it can happen. So there is a path. Be real. They get a 0% chance of doing anything against Oklahoma City unless SGA's leg has to be amputated.
You never know.
No, yeah.
And I would never hope for. I would
never hope for that. No.
But you never know. We just saw Jimmy Butler hobbled for the last 2 minutes of that game.
Well, that's what I'm saying. That's what would have to happen.
And don't forget, we're only a couple seasons removed. Like your trajectory was ahead of theirs, right?
Yeah.
Like you definitely were. This group, this Jaren, Dez era of the Grizzlies was ahead of the Thunder. Yeah. They just were. I'm with you. I think it'd be really tough, right? But I don't know. They're young.
Whatever you got to tell yourself. Whatever you got to tell yourself. 901-445-0929. Kimberly.
Hello, and happy game day, happy win day, and I'm in agreement with you on what you're saying about downtown Memphis. I always say that when the Grizzlies are winning, Memphis is winning, and it's just a great energy that's in the air right now, and I'm grateful that the end of the season is like this. You know, it has this feeling of possibility and hope, and I just wanted to say that. And I also want to give a big shout out to John Conchar today. I think he did a great job.
Yeah.
Oh, you can't argue with 6 steals.
Cannot. Is that his career high in steals?
It's got to be.
It has to be.
6. That's crazy.
It has to be.
I wish he would have had a block so then we could say 7 stops.
Well, I just think he's fabulous. I saw him today. I was wearing my Conchar hoodie, and it says Concharmy on it because we're like the Conchar Army.
Where did you get that? Who made that for you?
I ordered it online 4 years ago, and I have to tell you, I think he's one of the nicest guys in the NBA. He remembers people. He is convivial. Yeah. He is positive, and I think both on and off the court, he's a nice team player, and I love Scottie Pippen Jr. I love Huff. I love all of our team. I just think that there's a lot of possibility and potential with this team, and I think we should just all remain very positive.
I love it.
Kimberly, I appreciate it. You know what? No.
Look what a home win can do for the world.
No,
Roser.
I'm dead serious. It is always, and this is why, we need more women in the world because I swear, they are always just
it's true.
Positivity.
It's true.
Look at the light. Look at the positive things. Thank you for the call, Kimberly. We really appreciate it. 901-445-0929. If anybody wants to call in, Con Charming is amazing. I don't know why you don't have one of those. Why don't you have a Con Charming hoodie?
I don't know.
She doesn't know either.
Didn't know
Kimberly,
that it existed.
Get Jessica a Con Charming hoodie.
My favorite Conchar story from this season that I just thought of when she was talking about that, because it is true. We have so many great personalities on this team. But when Conchar pranked Jalen Wells at the beginning, remember when he ran into him at the grocery store and Conchar came up to him and was like, "Hey man, congrats on being drafted by the Memphis Grizzlies. Welcome to Memphis." Took a picture with him, and Jalen Wells had no idea that was his teammate, the John Concharming.
Okay.
Give me a Conchar highlight. I'll put Concharming into those highlights.
Here's another thing as we get into Tuesday night's game with the Warriors. And then real quick, we're going to go through the playoffs, the rest of the playoff matchups, and then we'll take our last break, and we will get out of here. For our first edition of the Double Post, we'll be back with you Tuesday night. I do think one of the things on this game that could be Steph Curry the last time went for 52, right? Mm-hmm. Jalen Wells was guarding him. And this is no disrespect to Jalen Wells. He's had a fantastic rookie year. But one of the things you have to do with Steph Curry, whether it was Tony Allen who did it, Dillon Brooks who did it, or when I watched the Rockets play the Warriors a week or two ago, and Amen Thompson or Dillon Brooks or whoever, but a lot of Amen Thompson, you got to make Steph Curry, you got to bump him. You've got to make him feel you. You can't just, keep your hands up and then just kind of move side to side, step to step with him. You're going to have to get physical with him to try to make him a little uncomfortable. And I did think in that game when Curry started to kind of cool off a little bit in the fourth quarter, I think he was like 1 for 5 from 3 in the fourth quarter of that last matchup. I think it was Scottie Pippen Jr. on him, and Pippen got physical with him and got up in him. Maybe some of it was fatigue, I don't know. But I'm going to give Scottie Pippen Jr. the credit. And Scottie Pippen Jr., I think, could play a big role here as being a guy that you can throw on Steph Curry and just, look, you're not going to totally slow him down. He's one of the greatest players of all time. But I think Pippen is a guy who can get physical with him.
Yeah, you're right. That is the strategy.
And they're going to have to, especially like
2
Jimmy.
2 of 8 in the fourth, 1 of 5 from 3.
Yeah. So I think
it was so frustrating the Grizzlies couldn't find a way to close out that game. But that's, I mean, when you're talking about things this team just has to be better at, no matter who they're playing, they have to close out games. We just saw it happen again against the Nuggets. And so much can be placed. None of us have had the chance to, well, I'll do it on our shows tomorrow to talk about the Nuggets game, today's game, and the look ahead. And you can put some of that on being on the second night of a back-to-back, exhausted, you arrived at 4 a.m., excuses galore, you're playing in altitude. But it also is indicative of what we've seen from this team this season, where they struggle to, if it is not jaw time call 12, they let games go. They give up big quarters and they let games go. And those are two things that in a play-in tournament, must-win game, you have to be infinitely better at.
Have to be. I mean, the closing out games and the second halves, just period, have been, and the 40-point quarters and stuff have just been, I mean, they're killers. They're absolutely killers.
And they're consistent. They're not anomalies. That is a part of the makeup of the team this year.
No, it is. It's like, well, if we could just stop giving up 40-point quarters. I tracked it the other day that they had given up through 80 games. They had given up 16 quarters of 40 points or more, which is 20% of your game. So every 5 games you play, you are giving up. You're giving up a 40-point quarter. Tough to win there, which is why I think, to your point, even on that, how they have to finish games, it's got to be Ja, it's got to be Jaren, it's got to be Dez. Like, if one of them takes a little bit of some possessions off, another one's got to step in and fill that up. But we've seen all three of them be really good. They led by 5 at halftime against Minnesota. They led against Denver at halftime. Like, it's there, and we've seen all three of those guys be productive and be really good. But they've got to all three do it for the entire game. 901-445-0929. This will be our last call. Adrian.
Hey, what's going on, fellas?
What's up, man?
Lady. Hey, yeah, I got in there a little bit late tonight.
Thank you.
Today, I had to leave church to come, but I got there the second half. Of course, today's game was just a scratchy end anyway. But I don't think Tuesday is a death sentence for us. I think to be honest, I think we can beat any team, to be honest, if they can just get that in their heads and just as bad as they are, as you guys are just mentioning on defense, we just got to be just that much good on offense, which we can. So I'm still, pretty positive. I look at this as, okay, this is another extra game for us to try to get it together. So I'm looking forward to Tuesday, and hopefully we can go over there, and San Francisco and get a win. We've kind of, been having their number lately, so except for the last time. But we can beat them. I think we can as far as matchups go. So I'm pretty excited about that. Would be a better one than Minnesota, to be honest with you. So, but that's my take. So I'll see y'all guys on, I guess, whenever the next game after that is.
All right. Thanks, Adrian. We appreciate it. Yeah, I think we all agree that the Warriors, I think I'd rather play the Warriors than the Clippers.
I talked myself into this weeks ago.
Or the Timberwolves. No, you did. You
I
did.
really did.
You talked yourself into it. You talked yourself into it weeks ago. So
there's just there's a vulnerability there. And I'm not trying to sit here and be a contrarian, because so much of the energy in the NBA discourse has been how good the Warriors have been since adding Jimmy Butler. And I am not trying to take away from that. But if Steph Curry is not going off, and if Jimmy Butler's not out there, it makes a massive it makes a massive difference. Now, I will say, to counter that, just in case there's somebody out there who's like, what is this hope core going on this Memphis show? Yes, the Grizzlies have not beaten a full strength above 500 team since February 2nd.
Milwaukee.
So,
yeah.
like, we can sit here and talk ourselves into a matchup. They will have to do something that they have not done. That win against the Pistons, yes, comes against a above 500 team. However, Jalen Duren was not out there on the court for that game, and that is a big difference maker for Detroit. So the Grizzlies are going to have to dig deep and do something that we haven't seen this team do in a long time. But you know what? We hadn't seen this team win a home game since March 15th, and I saw it with my own eyes today.
It happened today. The Grizzlies won a home game. It's still possible they can win at FedEx Forum. 9 o'clock is game time. 9 o'clock Tuesday night on TNT. That'll put us on the air at about 3 in the morning. No, I'm kidding. It'll put us...
Lang told me I could sleep in the Grizz gaming studio.
Yeah.
I said thanks for the hospitality.
Yeah. Bennett, you may be the one who sleeps in there. Jessica and I both have places down here, so.
Oh, it's all good. Get a little nap in during the day. I'm good. I'm excited.
But yeah, we will be on with you after that. Lang Whitaker and Mike Wallace will be on, and I'll be on the warm-up show too before that. That'll start at 8 o'clock leading in to 9 o'clock. Now, there will be a play-in game before that, right? So... Won't there be?
There will
be an Eastern Conference game before that, so there could be some slides. We'll figure that out. We'll figure that out as we go. We know how these national TV games go.
It's Magic Hawks.
All right, let's run through Kings Mavericks. Who do you think in the play-in? Kings Mavs. Both of y'all. Who do we go with? Kings Mavs. Who do you think? Yeah. That's right. Feet to fire. For both of y'all.
I'm going to say that. You go. You go. No, I'm going to take the Mavs. I'm going to take the Mavs.
I'm with them.
Yeah, I'm going to take the Mavs.
Just the size. Getting AD, Gafford, and Lively as a unit, that's a tough thing to counter with. But
I love for my fellow sports card nerd, Jake LaRavia. To get a play-in dub, but I am with you.
Jake LaRavia and Jonas Valanciunas.
Also with the Kings too, you've seen the rumblings about Sabonis and what are they going to do in the offseason, things like that. It just feels like one of those situations. They obviously traded Fox during the season. Like it feels like one of those situations where maybe a draft pick matters a little bit more to that team.
But I will say
lottery pick.
Something not to be underestimated here is that Sacramento does have one thing. Two things, actually, because they're two players. They have Zach LaVine and DeMar DeRozan.
They sure do.
Who played together with the Bulls. So they are very familiar with play-in situations, as the Chicago Bulls love the play-in. And so they are very familiar with this. So I don't think this is something that Zach LaVine and DeMar DeRozan will be rattled by a play-in game.
Did y'all see
Anthony Davis didn't play. The last time they played was back in early March 3rd. And Anthony Davis didn't play, and the Kings won 122.
By the way, a fun fact, Jonas Valanciunas has played in every single play-in tournament.
That's a play-in tournament king right there.
Every single one of them.
So you want to give the credit to the former Bulls. Jonas Valanciunas says...
he's a king now.
Yeah.
I was like, where is he now? Oh, yeah, he's a king. That's right. I remember seeing...
So what, he was on the play-in team with the Grizzlies?
Yep.
Where was he last year? Pelicans? Were the Pelicans in the play-in last year?
They were at some point recently.
I try to forget last season.
The Wizards certainly were not.
The Wizards were not this year, but he got traded to the Kings. So
yeah.
Okay, how about JV? Shout out JV. We love JV.
Shout out.
One of my all-time favorites.
All right. I love. Well, here we go. We'll go Denver Clippers 4-5. Nuggets 4.
Do
Clippers 5.
Do we have another break to take?
It was just one more, and then we're done. And then we're just wrapping up. So we're getting all this out of the way, and then y'all actually are free to fly
away.
You're free to fly away.
That's
after
so
this
exciting.
one. Yeah. All right, Nuggets Clippers. Go. Who do you like?
I'm not gonna bet against the MVP.
You go a Joker.
Yeah.
Okay.
I really like this Clippers team.
I do too. I'm with Jessica. Clippers. I'm with the Clippers, which means I am banking on Kawhi Leonard to stay healthy. Which means Kawhi is going to play one game, and we're going to look like idiots. We are banking on Kawhi Leonard to play more than 2 playoff games and be healthy.
Feels risky. Feels a little risky.
When's the last time it happened? 2015, 16? Whenever the Raptors won the playoffs. And he got hobbled in those playoffs games, too. But, yeah.
Don't you think it's I don't know if you guys had this thought watching the Grizzlies-Nuggets game on Friday, but I could not stop thinking about that Jokic quote where he was like, a vulnerable something vulnerable is at its strongest. So I might eat my words with that because Nikola Jokic at this point is playing out of his mind, averaging a triple-double this season. They get Jamal Murray back, which makes a huge difference. Or they got
playoff Murray. Playoff Murray's a thing.
Even look at today's game. All the conversation leading up to Nuggets-Rockets was, Ime Udoka. He's throwing out his real players. He's going to try to get the Nuggets. There was a scenario where the Nuggets were the 7th seed, and the Grizzlies could have been going back to Denver to play the Nuggets in that game. And the Nuggets came out and just established a double-digit lead early and put that thing to bed. So
as Devin Walker, our coworker, would say, BTA.
They did. Russell Westbrook had 17 points off the bench.
I love Lakers Timberwolves. Go. Lakers Timberwolves. I know who Bennett's going to say. Wolves.
He's not going to bet against the King.
Wolves.
They are not ready for this.
Go Wolves.
They are not ready for this.
The Wolves were tied with the Jazz with no play. Lauri Markkanen wasn't walking out there for the Utah Jazz today. The 17-win Utah Jazz. I know they ended up.
They know they could.
They're not going to sleepwalk against the Lakers. Okay. I'm not betting against Luka and LeBron in a first-round matchup against a, we'll call it, frenetic Timberwolves team.
Magic Hawks. We got to do it. Look, we got to do it. Like, I know it's not interesting, but we got to do it. Okay. Bulls Heat.
God, I don't care.
Go Kobe White. I've always liked Kobe White. Go Bulls. And the Bulls from my childhood. I've always had a soft spot for the Bulls.
Do it for Jordan.
Yeah, I've always had a soft spot for the Bulls. The Bulls. I mean, a great uniform. The red unis, great unis. All right, let's go Pistons Knicks 3-6.
That's the one that people are picking the upset. I'm not. I'll go Knicks.
Okay, you go Knicks.
I'm also going with the Knicks.
You're going to go with the Knicks. I'm taking the Pistons. Okay. Pacers Bucks 4-5. Indiana's the 4. They got home. I don't know why I just took the Pistons.
Pacers.
I know why, but
Pacers
also. And Cleveland better watch out if Indiana gets by Milwaukee. That Pacers team has been playing awesome down the stretch.
Yes.
They have been great since the All-Star break. Okay, so there we go. Now, real quick. Last year in the Eastern Conference playoffs, the breakout player, we would say Jalen Brunson.
Yes.
That he was the Eastern Conference player you were talking about.
Yeah.
The Western Conference, Anthony Edwards.
Okay.
I believe was the player that busted out, especially when they were able to the way they swept the Suns and then beat the Denver Nuggets. What?
Nothing.
Keep going. What am I not allowed to? What did I say?
I have a strange ring in my ear.
You have a strange. Oh, I've got a little bit of a ring too. Yeah, I got a little bit. It's all right though. Eastern Conference player, Western Conference player that breaks out in the playoffs. Go.
Oh gosh.
Come on. Feet to fire.
Wait, so what is it again?
Eastern Conference player, Western Conference player that breaks out in the playoffs this year.
Eastern Conference player. I don't think he's going to advance, but I'll go Cade Cunningham.
Okay. Well, okay.
Can we call a Tyrese Halliburton moment?
I think that's fair.
Because that's mine right now. He's playing way better than anyone is giving him credit for.
I think Tyrese Halliburton's a good pick.
We haven't talked about Tyrese since the inaugural NBA Cup.
We haven't. I go with Cade Cunningham too. Western Conference player, go.
Alperen Şengün.
Woo! I like it. That's saucy. I like it.
That is saucy. Just for the sake of going with somebody, I'll take Amen Thompson.
That's good too. Yeah.
I'm going to go a different direction here, and I'm going to go with a 2-time NBA Finals MVP.
That's disgusting behavior.
Because we seriously don't expect anything great ever. I'm going to say Kawhi Leonard. And the Clippers make the Western Conference Finals.
Okay.
I'm going to say the Clippers beat the Nuggets. The Clippers beat the Oklahoma City Thunder. And Kawhi Leonard stays healthy enough through that. And everybody's going, oh, my gosh, Kawhi is back to being Kawhi Leonard. We forgot about him. Ultimately, I think we have a Lakers-Boston Celtics NBA Finals. I think the Lakers come out of the West. I think the Celtics come out of the East.
Recession indicator.
And go Boston Celtics. Yeah, that happened last time. It did. It happened last time. All right. Jessica, Bennett, thank y'all so much. We're going to hit our final break, and we will come back and wrap things up here. The Double Post. Get in on the action on X. Use the hashtag DP Live, and we'll read your comments. We'll be back and wrap things up here.
At the Regional One Health Surgery Center, our focus is not only on healing, but getting you back to normal as quickly as possible. With expert surgeons and the latest technology, we offer the most advanced robotic and minimally invasive procedures. That means you get the most effective care with less time in the hospital and more time doing what you love. Regional One Health, specializing in tomorrows.
When the arena lights dim for a concert, or when the crowd becomes one at a big game, you can almost feel like you're the biggest fan. But who's your biggest fan? It's the person that will get you home safely after a night of drinking. It's the person who looks out for your life to make sure you leave the stadium with someone sober. This could be a designated driver or someone who offers to get you a ride share. Because in Tennessee, fans don't let fans drive drunk. Brought to you by the Tennessee Highway Safety Office, a division of the Tennessee Department of Safety and Homeland Security.
Cheer on the home team with a true 901 original, Pyro's Pizza. Born right here in Memphis, we're proud to serve up something for everyone. Whether it's a custom pizza, fresh salad, or tasty dessert, Pyro's has options for all diets, allergies, and cravings. Since 2013, we've been bringing friends and family together for fresh, delicious meals made just the way you like. Game night has never tasted better. Memphis style. Pyro's Fire Fresh Pizza. Check us out at pyrospizza.com for locations and our full menu.
Spring into big bloomin' wins at Southland Casino Hotel. Earn entries in April to win your share of up to $100,000 in free play or a 2025 GMC Denali Sierra on April 26th. On Fridays, play Take It or Leave It for your share of $215,000 in free play. Saturdays through April 19th, win $1,500 in free play every 15 minutes. Big wins and a brand new Denali. Only at Southland Casino Hotel. Must be 21 plus. Play responsibly. For help quitting, call 800-522-4700.
This is Gary Parrish reminding you about Danny Morrison Roofing Professionals. They're a local, family-owned and operated business serving the Mid-South's residential and commercial roofing needs since 2010. It's the home of the free roof. You really can get a new roof with no cost to you. Most roofing jobs, they can be done in one day, so this isn't some lengthy process. Just call Danny at 901-870-0186. It's Danny Morrison Roofing, a proud supporter of the University of Memphis Athletic Department. Danny Morrison Roofing, 901-870-0186.
Hey, I got good news, folks. It's springtime at Oak Hall. Okay, not technically springtime, but you walk in that store, you'll feel like it. The colors are bright. The clothes are beautiful. It is time to get ready for spring and summer at Oak Hall. Maybe you're headed somewhere warm. They've got swimwear too. And it's the same wonderful people, same beautiful clothes who are there for you at Christmas and throughout the year. Springtime at Oak Hall. Go back in and see your friends today.
Looking for a place to get hyped before the game? Courtside Grill at the Westin Memphis Beale Street is the place. Try our specialty appetizers like alley-oop nachos layered with cheese, tomatoes, and jalapenos. The technical foul appetizer will mean you are in big trouble as you savor 6 big bites of wings. Fallon out tenders dipped in buttermilk served with fries will be worth it. And try our unlimited soup and salad for just $15. Snack on some chips and queso while you're waiting for that courtside burger. It's 7 ounces cooked to order, served with fries. Dribble into flavor with our full court press cocktails, the ultimate shot for your taste buds. The fan favorite is the Slam Dunk drink, which will really get you hyped up. If you're hanging with your friends, a bucket of beer will do the trick, and a must try is that courtside lemonade that is a divine cocktail for the ladies. After all the fun at courtside, jump into our heavenly bed for a restful night. Courtside Grill just across the street from the FedEx Forum. See it, the only destination before and after the game. It's all fun at Courtside Grill. Grizzlies winners today, 132-97 over the Dallas Mavericks. Double Post Show, formerly known as Grizzlies Post Game Live, right now with you on Grind City Media on YouTube. Grind City Media. Sorry, I was standing up during that break. Congratulations to Rory McIlroy. He completed the Grand Slam.
That was cool.
Hit a putt in the on the first playoff hole to win the Masters. He immediately dropped to all fours, crying in tears. He's hugging his daughter right now. Poppy, I believe is her name. And you can see the real tears. And what a moment. Shout out to Rory McIlroy. And shout out to the Grizzlies. They finished the regular season 48-34 with a win over the Dallas Mavericks. And Bennett, final thoughts on you don't have to be this game, just
the regular season.
It's another regular season, man. Yeah. How long have we been doing this?
It's been a while. Yeah, it's been a while. I've been doing this radio thing for a long time now.
And now it's
excited
a video,
to be doing
TV,
it on GCM.
Yeah, it's
You can't sit here and say that it wasn't a disappointing second half to the season. Evidence being you're in the play-in tournament. You were the 2 seed in the West a little over a month ago, right?
Yeah.
So it's disappointing to finish that way. It was good to get a win today in front of the home crowd, big crowd. That was awesome. But we've seen them have success in this play-in tournament before. They still have an opportunity to change the narrative of how this season ended. And, starting Tuesday night against a team that you got a lot of history against with this group. So Tuesday's massive, man, and I'm really excited about it. I think you saw some growth from some guys this year that you're excited about. I would say specifically your 2 rookies, man. I think you feel really good about Edey's improvement over the second half of the season, specifically these last couple weeks. We're all excited about Jalen Wells, especially being a second-round draft pick. Hopefully he's able to, heal this summer and be ready to go for the first game next year. But again, I just it's not over. Like I don't really have I don't really have a thought on how it ended, because I think they've got a chance to change the narrative on the season.
You always, it's crazy. You do. You have a chance to change the narrative. And one of the things that I discussed Friday after the Nuggets game on my live that I did on Twitter, one of the things I discussed said, what if it had been reversed how the season went? Because I think we were like 12-18 in our last, or 13-18 in our last 31 games.
Yep.
What if we would have been 13-18 in our first 31 games?
Then you're feeling amazing.
And then you finish the season the way you started the season. You probably feel way better about things like, we've been rolling the second half of the season. Let's go. Let's bring on anybody. So, look, you got a chance to change the narrative. We'll see about Jimmy Butler's injury. The Grizzlies will take on the Golden State Warriors. It'll be Tuesday. Tuesday night, the Grizzlies take on the Golden State Warriors, 9 o'clock on TNT. There will be no local TV broadcast. However, Grind City Media, we will have pregame and postgame for you. We will have pregame beginning at 8 o'clock. Lang Whitaker, Mike Wallace, and myself will be with you for the warm-up show. We'll be joined by other GCM and Grizzlies radio network and Grizzlies television voices, all the personalities you see. There will be an array of them on, as we'll be on for a full hour leading up to the 9 o'clock start between the Grizzlies and Timberwolves. Then myself, Jessica Benson, and Bennett Doyle will be with you for the Double Post, formerly known as Grizzlies Postgame Live, right here following the conclusion of Tuesday's play-in game. It'll be late, but we'll be up for it, and we'll be staying up for it to talk about it and get your reaction, taking your phone calls, and getting your reaction live on YouTube, live on X. Always, you can join the show there. Right now, I'm going to say our thank yous and goodbyes to everybody else. This is the first edition of the Double Post Show. Many more to come. The second one will be Tuesday night. So thank you to everybody that helped put on this broadcast. John Pugliese, Scott Zachary from the Memphis Grizzlies, our technical director downstairs, Kyra. You are a one of one. Thank you so much. You do an amazing job for us, an amazing job on the warm-up show. And for our first time tonight, an amazing job tonight from Odyssey, the parent company of 92.9 FM ESPN, which is the flagship home of the Memphis Grizzlies. Nicole Hartman, their GM and VP, Brad Carson, their brand manager, and then also the people that did the radio broadcast, Eric Hasseltine, Mike Wallace, Bennett Doyle, Jessica Benson, Wes Warwick, who is also back engineering the radio broadcast right now. And thank you to every single one of you who listened, who followed along on YouTube, who followed along and watched on X. Thanks to all of you. Game 82 of 82. We will talk to you Tuesday night following the Grizzlies and the Warriors right here on YouTube, on X, and on the Grizzlies Radio Network. Good night.